When I was younger and in college, I took a wine class, and the first two wines that I had tried that really did something for me was a Ridge Zinfandel and a Chateauneuf de Pape. And the flavor profiles were just so amazing and just got me so intrigued into wine. But as some things happen, it got put into the back burner. When I was working in the Caribbean, I used to work in Martinique, and I had a friend who owned a wine shop there. So all of a sudden my juices started flowing again for the wine. And once that was done and I was done with that job and I moved back to Maryland, it kind of got put into the back burner again. And then I took a little job at a gourmet food store that had a little wine shop in it. And I started tasting those wines again and just got my juices flowing again. And I decided finally that I was going to go to school for it. But before that all occurred, I decided it was important that I actually work for a harvest and to see what it was really all about. So I worked for a little winery in Maryland called Bordy. And I called them up and I offered my services and I said, do it for free. He was like, no, we got to pay you. We got to pay you. And I was like, fine, that's great. I'm going to get paid to do something that I really feel that I'm going to love. So I had a chance to work at the winery. I did everything from picking fruit, crushing, pressing, cleaning barrels, cleaning the floor. You know, you go down that path and you really get to learn what you are interested in, what wines you're interested in, and you start to get excited by tasting other people's wines and saying, you know, I think this is the style that I want to do, and then looking to see if you can get a job at one of those wineries down the road. So I did go to school. I put in as much energy into that as I could. I got a lot of exposure to a lot of different wineries, wrote a lot of letters, met with all these winemakers at all these different wineries, to the point where I had 3 wineries that I decided that I'd like to work at. And I took a job at one of them, at Rosenblum Cellars, where, you know, Kent Rosenblum gave me the golden opportunity to really go wild and experiment. And I think that's another thing that gets your juices flowing, is that working with someone who allows you to explore your inner abilities, inner passions. So when I started at Rosenblum in 1996, Kent offered me the opportunity to make my own wine on the side. And I did, starting in 96, and then after about 5 years of doing it there, we moved it to our facility here in Oakland. And I stayed at Rosenblum for 5 more years, and then I'm here on my own. So here we are.